We are camping at Sutton in Florence, Oregon. It's an awesome campground, and we are going to do a taste test on Breakfast Skillet, a comparison of Peak Refuel and Mountain House. I'm excited. I'm getting really hungry too. So
Yum.
let's go make breakfast.
And we have a little fire going. Okay, now both these are 2 serving, is that right?
2 serving.
Okay. One of these looks a little more full than the other, but we'll see. Okay, so this is the Peak one. The package is really packed.
Yeah, it is.
Does that one have a Ziploc on the top? You can't tell.
Yeah, it's way down here, but it needs to spread out a little bit because this is super full.
Wow, look at that. Okay.
I don't see any potatoes yet. Does this have potatoes in it? Yep. Eggs, sausage, potatoes, and peppers.
I see a lot of sausage on the top.
Yeah.
Cool. Now this is the Mountain House.
And I see potatoes and eggs and a little bit of sausage.
Okay.
So.
Fun.
And I always did like the Mountain House breakfast skillet, but let's see what this does. So this is the Mountain House breakfast skillet after it's been rehydrated. It's looks like a smaller portion than I remember, but let's pour it in and see how much we get. We're just going to fill it to the brim. Wow, that's 2 servings.
That's the whole thing? Okay. So the idea here was we were going to fill these to the brim, and then if there was extra, we were going to put them in another bowl so that we could see really, which one does have more. So, you ready for the Peak?
Yep. Okay, there's Mountain House. Let me rinse this off so we don't contaminate the Peak. Let's move this.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that. I'm going to stir this up real quick. It seems a little drier than the Mountain House. The Mountain House is a little more moist, and this seems to have a lot more green peppers in it than the Mountain House does.
Okay, well, that's good. We can tell the difference. Okay, cool.
So that's kind
Fill her up. Oh, wow. Okay. So that definitely has more in it. Okay, so that's my serving,
No!
And that's Janet's serving.
Oh, I'm sorry, Willie. I stepped on Willie's toe.
Okay, so this is the Mountain House with no extra. And let me just get over here so we can see this a little better.
That's a lot of green pepper.
Yum.
So, I'm sorry, but you don't get all of that. Uh-oh, there goes my...
Okay, so let me just look here. So it looks like those are filled up to the same level. And so the Peak has that much extra and the Mountain House has that much extra. Okay?
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So, let me split this up. I contaminated it a little bit, but I think that's okay.
And the sun has come up and it's getting a lot lighter, so I don't think we need the flashlight anymore, but we'll see.
I'm not a huge green pepper fan. I'm just going to say this right up front.
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
So,
Lots of green pepper
lots
in
of
the
green
Peak,
pepper.
and like no green pepper
There's a
in the
little
other
bit of,
one.
yeah, there is a little bit of green pepper, but
Okay.
not as prominent.
Okay.
So,
Give it a shot.
here's Peak. Looks like I got a little sausage, egg, green and red pepper in this one. Mm.
The silence is killing us.
Mm. The Mountain House has a lot more flavor, and there's a little bit of a smoky flavor to this in the Mountain House that Peak doesn't have, and it's not overpowering with the peppers. And it seems like there's more potatoes in the Mountain House than there is in the Peak. Let me do one more bite. Sausage is a little chewy in that one. Peak is missing a little bit of flavor. It's so overpowering with the green peppers. That's my only issue. It's not bad, but there's not that many potatoes in it. There's more chunk potatoes. They're not like the little hash brown. They're little chunks.
Show me one. Can you find one?
Yeah, little chunks.
Okay. And look at the hash brown kind of potatoes. So these are shredded.
Yeah.
Did the potatoes rehydrate okay on both of them?
Potato, everything rehydrated. The sausage in both is not completely rehydrated, but it's not crunchy. Mine isn't. I'm going to have to add something to my Peak just because it's too overpowering in the green peppers for me. Okay. So, what do you think?
Well, visually, the Peak has got a very nice eye appeal to it. Let's check it out first. Okay, now this one didn't have a lot of green pepper, so let me get a little piece of green pepper there. Okay, now let's try this.
You're doing the Mountain House now?
I'm doing the Mountain House now. I see what you mean about the smokiness. I like that. I like that flavor. This has more salt. Maybe we can look at the packages. The Peak needs salt. I can say that already. But let's try another bite here. Okay. I do like the different texture. There's a little more texture in the Peak. But it does need salt. So I think we're going to have to zip this up a little bit.
Well, let's add salt and come back and retaste it.
Do we have any liquid smoke with this?
Not here, it's at the house.
Okay. Okay, one more little bite here. Okay, we're going to have to do a little salt. As is out of the package, the flavor of the Mountain House is better than the Peak, because the Peak is kind of toned down on spices, so it needs something.
But it's a larger serving size too. That's
Huge serving size. Yeah, that's a big difference too. So,
yeah.
let's spice it up a little.
So I added a little bit of salt, a tad of ground black pepper, and just a smidgen of garlic powder to the Peak, and it definitely makes a difference. The only thing is it brings out the flavor of the green pepper more, but it tastes better. I'm not disappointed, because I like the serving size, and this is something I could eat in a pinch if I didn't have any other food. But flavor-wise, I think I prefer the Mountain House on this. So I'm going to give this 3 out of 5 stars. The Peak is very pretty. It's a very, very pretty dish. It's much prettier than the Mountain House Breakfast Skillet. But what I like about Mountain House also is there's big chunks of eggs that rehydrated just wonderfully. I like the big chunk of egg.
Find the biggest chunk you can over here in the Peak.
It's all like just mixed in with the potatoes. It's kind of hard to distinguish between the potatoes and the egg.
Yeah, and the other thing that I found is the potatoes, once they're diced up like this, they kind of end up being like mashed potatoes. And the ones in the Mountain House you can clearly see are shredded, and they kind of stay together as shreds. I don't know how they process them differently, but
yeah, look at
that's
the difference.
something that I noticed.
Look at the difference between the sausage. There's a sausage, and then here's a sausage in Mountain House. A lot bigger.
Yeah, okay. So I did salt and pepper and garlic as well. I may have put a little bit of extra garlic in mine. My goal was to kind of bring up the flavor of the sausage. And it did good. And I like bell peppers though too, so right out of the bag though, the Mountain House. But I'm kind of with Janet on the serving size as well. As long as you do a little doctoring, that's a big plus. How are these price-wise comparison? They in the ballpark?
Peak is a little more expensive than the Mountain House for now, but Mountain House isn't available anymore. I mean, you can get it at the big stores, but we are cut off from Mountain House, so
yeah,
I don't know if they're raising the price to their corporate accounts, or if they are going to be raising the price on their small business accounts if we ever have the opportunity to buy from Mountain House again, which would be nice. But if not, we've got Peak, and I'm not going to turn away from Peak. It's very edible. I can't wait to try the beef stroganoff tonight. We're going to do a comparison of the beef stroganoff later today, so that's the one that we really want to do. So what do you think?
I may end up mixing these together. They're both good. But like I said, you have to doctor the Peak up just a little bit. I think it's worth it.
How many stars?
1 to 5. I'd say probably good solid 3.
Yeah.
3.5 if you doctor it. So it's not at the top of my list, but we all have different taste buds. So I think this is not going to disappoint a lot of people, but is it going to be as memorable as, the seafood omelet at Lunacy Cafe?
Too bad we can't get that
Man,
phrased right.
if they could deliver it to us. All right, well, that's about it for the Epicenter.com. I'm Epicenter Brian, signing out.